I have to.
Oh,
Yes.
good morning, masters. Welcome to the Patriji Meditation Channel Africa. Under the divine guidance of Brahma Rishi Pitamaha Patriji and our dearest grandmasters Padma Amma, Aparna ma'am, Sheila ma'am, and Mala ma'am, welcoming all other participants from India, Asia, and Africa, and all over the world to this season 5 session, Immigration and Integration. Today we have an young master, Hima with us on this platform. So I'm Master Hima, we are very happy to invite you to this platform. Please lead us to the meditation. Before that, please introduce yourself briefly. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this platform to share. I am Himashri and I'm currently in the UK working. I've been meditating for more than 10 years now. As a child, I started meditating with my family and I've gained a lot from it, and I'm happy to share my experience after meditation. Before we start meditating, for anyone who's new, the process is very simple. We are going to be practicing breath mindfulness meditation, also called Anapanasati in Pali language. In this meditation, all we have to do is close our eyes, sit in a relaxed position, and observe our natural ongoing breath as it's happening. And the posture that we are going to assume is a very comfortable one, a seated posture if you can. You can rest your back comfortably, but make sure your head is up straight. Clasp your palms together like this, and you can rest them on your lap. You can either cross your feet or fold your legs, whatever is comfortable for you, and just gently close your eyes. Before we start with the meditation, we'll just say a small gratitude to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji for introducing this meditation to us all, and starting and leading this program for all of us. Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji ki our heartfelt gratitude and thank you, thank you, thank you to all the masters, friends who are present here for being with us in this space and sharing this meditation experience and practice with us. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll do this 2 more times. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more time, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. From now on, you can just observe the natural breath. There is no need for following a rhythm, a pattern, or taking any deep breaths. Just as your breath is occurring naturally, just observe that. Engage in a passive observation. just allow the music to be in the background to amplify your experience today. It is natural for us to be distracted with thoughts. When you catch yourself being distracted and away from your breath, involved in your thoughts, gently, with compassion and acceptance, bring your awareness back to your breath. The entire practice today, that is what we'll be doing. As we catch ourselves drifting away into thoughts, we are going to be gently nudging our awareness back to our breath, to the natural flowing in breath and out breath. When we meditate, we gently and slowly reach a state of no thoughts, a state where our mind is empty. When the mind is empty, we receive abundant cosmic energy from the top of your head flowing into your body. Allow yourself to feel that energy as it passes through your body from the top of your head.
Maybe. Good morning to everybody and
Thank you, friends. Slowly release your palms and place them on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly open your eyes.
Thank you so much, Shanu. So, masters, we just will listen to Kirtana from our master today. స్వర్ణకరి మ్యామ్ నమస్కారం. ఈరోజు మాస్టర్ మన ఎవరు మన కీర్తన పాడేది మీ వాల్ వినబట్టలేదు మ్యామ్.
ఉన్నారు చూడండి, జూమ్ లో ఉన్నారు. కోదండరామయ్య గారు పాడతారు.
సారా నమస్కారం సార్. ప్లీజ్ ఓవర్ టు యూ సార్. నమస్కారం. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి సార్. అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి సార్.
now am I audible, madam?
Yes.
Good morning to each and everybody, madam. Shall I start?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yes. Now I render Rajarajeshwari Ashtakam written by Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya. This is in Raga Shivaranjani Adi Talda. Amba Shambhavi Chandra Maulirabala Aparna Uma Parvati Kali Haimavati Siva Trinayani Katyayani Bhairavi Savitri Navayavana Shubhakari Samrajya Lakshmi Prada चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्री राजराजेश्वरी अम्बामोहिनी देवता त्रिभुवनी आनंद संधायिनी वाणी पल्लव पाणि वेणु मुरली गान प्रिया लोलिनी कल्याणी ह्युडुराजबिम्बवदना धूम्राक्षसंहारिणी चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी अंबानूपुररत्न कंकणधरी केयूरहरवळी जाति चंपक वैजयंती लहरी ग्रैवेय कैराजिता वीणा वेणु विनोद मंडितकरा वीरासने संस्थिता चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी अंबारुद्रिणी भद्रकाली बगला ज्वालामुखी वैष्णवी ब्रह्माणी त्रिपुरांतकी सुरनुता देदीप्यमानोज्ज्वला चामुंडाश्रित रक्षपोष जननी दाक्षायिणी पल्लवी चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी अंबाशूलधनुः कुशांकुशधरी अर्धेन्दुबिम्बधरी वाराही मधुकैटभ प्रशमनी वाणी रमा सेविता मल्लाद्यासुर मूक दैत्य दमनी माहेश्वरी चाम्बिका चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी अम्बा सृष्टि विनाश पालन करी आर्या विसंशोभिता गायत्री प्रणवाक्षरामृतरसैः पूर्णानुसन्धीकृता ओंकारी विनुता सुरार्चितपदा उद्दंड दैत्यापहा चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी अम्बा शाश्वती आगमादि विनुता आर्या महादेवता या ब्रह्मादि पिपीलिकांत जननी या वै जगन्मोहिनी या पंच प्रणवादिरेफ जननी या चित्कला मालिनी चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी अम्बापालित भक्तराजरचितम् अम्बाष्टकं यः पठेत् अम्बालोककटाक्षवीक्षललिता ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् अम्बा पावन मन्त्रराजपठना दन्ते च मोक्षप्रदा चिद्रूपी परदेवता भगवती श्रीराजराजेश्वरी. Thank you. I am sorry if I cause any inconvenience through singing.
Not
Voice is
at all,
not.
not at all, sir. Chala bagundi. Thank
Thank
you
you very
so much being on this platform. And it was very happy listening to you. I think everybody shares the same feelings with me. Chala chala ధన్యవాదములు sir. మీరు వచ్చి మాకు ఇంత మంచిది వినిపించిన దానికి. And don't mind my Telugu.
Oh, no. It is a good.
Yes,
But
sir.
you did not feel sorry. You are speaking nicely. Telugu
Yeah.
also.
Thank you so
చాలా
much.
బాగుంది. మీరు తెలుగు బాగా మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. అట్లా మాట్లాడటం కష్టమే. మదర్
Late,
టంగ్ కాకపోయినా.
right. Let's brought up in the Baita kada north. So
Thank
thank
you
you, sir.
for the opportunity given to me, madam.
Padma ma'am and Swarnagauri ma'am ki ధన్యవాదములు తెలపాలి for such a good idea of listening to Kirtanas at this time. Today is day 3. So over to Usha Kiran ma'am, who has joined us from Nigeria and who is hosting us today. Usha ma'am, మీరున్నారా అక్కడ?
Yes, ma'am.
మేము చూడలేకపోతున్నాం మొక్కలు తప్ప.
Yeah.
Okay, over to you ma'am. Yes.
Oh, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
సో షామా మనం నెక్స్ట్ మన మాస్టర్ యంగ్ మాస్టర్ తీసుకున్నామా హిమశ్రీ
Yeah.
ని yes please go to Himashri ma'am. We'd like to hear from you once more and then
Hi, Hima.
Everyone. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah.
Today, I want to share on the topic. So, the topic that I was asked to share on is what am I doing to aid and help and heal Mother Earth? So, I want to share a couple of things that I strongly believe that we should all be doing, starting with mindfulness and meditation, because that's the best way I think we can heal ourselves, our internal state of physical health and also mental health. And once we are healed, our actions, our thoughts, and our behavior is a direct reflection of our internal state. So if we are happy, what we act on and what we do also causes that ripple of happiness around us. So that's one thing I completely follow. And another thing that I do to ensure I'm not harming others and harming other animals is I don't consume meat. And I've transitioned to being a vegan. Being a vegan means I don't consume any animal products as well. So be it leather or fur, I don't consume fur or leather or silk. I don't drink milk or consume honey. I'll be honest, I'm not a perfect vegan. I don't claim to not do it every single day, but majority of the days, 99% of the time, I try to make sure whatever food I'm consuming is not causing harm to the other animals and other beings on this planet.
Very nice.
And along with that, I spread meditation and mindfulness to everyone around me. That's another contribution that I try to do very consciously for everyone living on this earth. Because once we raise our awareness about our internal states, what we are feeling, what we're going through, then we don't act on an autopilot. We are capable of consciously thinking and making choices. And when we are conscious of the thoughts that we're having and the actions we're taking, I believe the actions that we take are of a better quality. When we are not aware that we are causing harm to the others, we say and do things that are unreasonable sometimes or sometimes selfish. But once we become aware of our internal state, once we become aware of what is happening around us, then we're able to act on it much better. So that is what I believe, and that is why I've decided to become a psychology student and research on psychology and mental health of humans and how to improve mental health, not just for adults, but for children as well. How do we teach children to be compassionate, to be loving from a young age? That is what I'm interested in, and that is what I'm focusing on building as a career for myself. Um, yeah, I strongly believe that teaching meditation and mindfulness to kids and young people at a young age is really helpful for their mental health when we teach them the skills that they need to regulate themselves. It will give them the tools to uh, thrive in this world. When when they're stressful in a situation, it gives them the strength and the energy and also the awareness that they need to deal with a lot of situations. A lot of the times that um, when we're stressed, we don't realize what's happening around us. We act irrationally and we lash out and engage in all unhelpful habits and behaviors, which causes not just us but also people around us a lot of harm. So the first step to stopping that is to build awareness. And the greatest, best tool that we have to build awareness about ourselves is to practice mindfulness and meditation. When we meditate, we are training our mind to be focused and aware of only our breath. So when we are training our mind, this is called mindfulness. When we are putting our mind completely, fully on one activity, it's when you are completely mindful. When we are in that mindful state, we are also adding a state of non judgmental. So when we are completely accepting all the thoughts that we have, all the feelings that we have without any judgment, just observing as it is happening within our body, we are developing this sense of acceptance within ourselves. And we're training our mind to be aware of everything that's happening within us. And this practice helps us translate that awareness into our daily life. So as we are speaking to others, as we're going about our day, our brain has been trained to focus on the activity that is right in front of us. So what I've noticed while with my many years of meditation practice is when I practice mindfulness and breath awareness, when I'm able to control my mind to be on my breath for a prolonged period of time, that helps in my attention span with other activities as well. Example, when I'm studying or doing work or even just cooking or talking to others, I'm much more able to focus on what I'm doing on hand. So that makes me more aware and more conscious of things around me. And it made me more sensitive to not just my feelings, but the feelings of others as well. And this made me more sensitive to what plants are feeling, what animals around me are feeling, what impact I am causing on them as well. So, yeah, mm, living a life of awareness and sensitivity is one thing that happens, but also being able to regulate those emotions. Those are the ways that I've developed, I've grown over the years, and that is what I aim to teach everyone around me. Because, yeah, I think um, having a healthy mind is the first step towards happiness. Yeah. Jyoti ma'am, you have your hand up. Do you have any questions?
We will take her experience sharing after your session once your experience is over. So I had just one or two questions which can I ask you? May I?
Please do.
See, we are talking about our contribution to the Mother Earth, right? Now, as you were telling about the awareness, I was wondering, normally it's very easy to talk to a person who doesn't have much knowledge about meditation and is keen to know about meditation. But how do you communicate to a person who feels an intellectual person who feels where he knows it all, but yet we are aware that he is unaware about it? How do you communicate to such a person or an individual and tell them about the importance of meditation in his day-to-day life? Because he is a graduate, he has so many degrees in his pocket, and to convince that particular person and to tell them, if I say, hey, you're not aware about this Mother Earth, so many things happening. He says, I know it all, don't tell me. So how do we do it?
I think if they are from a very scientific background, like you said, if they have got a lot of degrees and they believe in science-backed information, I completely appreciate that. And as someone who spent a lot of time in education and understanding everything from a scientific perspective, I can say that there is so much evidence for the impact of mindfulness and meditation on human health and well-being. So there are a lot of studies that researchers have done that when they've seen the impact of meditation on humans, it has proven that meditation can be a great tool for improving depression and anxiety. And beyond that, they have seen that practicing meditation improves your compassion, and you can only care for others and your mother earth when you have compassion left in you. So if when there's no compassion, we tend to be very selfish in our actions, very selfish in our thoughts and feelings. But once we understand that we are in a cohabitable situation where the more we give, the more we gain. So if we can't take care of the animals around us, the ecosystem around us, we are in a way harming ourselves. When we don't care for the planet, we are harming the home that we're living in. So that in the long term or even in the short term harms us as well. So having that self-compassion and having that realization only comes when we are aware. And that awareness, mindfulness is a great tool for building that sort of awareness and sensitivity. And there's a lot of research to back this up. I encourage everyone who does not believe that meditation is a good tool for building compassion and building mental capacity. Only when we are able to successfully and deal with our emotions and daily stressors, only then we can think of compassion and giving back to Mother Earth. Otherwise, we're in a state of constantly needing something because we ourselves, when we are at a like, this is an example that I can think of. When you're hungry, that's all you can think of. How do I solve my hunger? When you're hurt, that's all you can think of. How do I make that pain go away? But once we are fulfilled of our needs, then we can think of how do I give back? How do I make a difference? How do I make a positive change in this world? So the first step to healing and also the first step to understanding what is the change needed is to meditate and is to come to a state of mental peace. And yeah, there's so many studies that show that when we are meditating, our brain goes into a certain vibrational state where we are calm and relaxed. It's almost like a sleep state. What happens during our sleep is that we go through all our thoughts that we had throughout the day, and our brain filters it out. Whatever thoughts we need, we keep on to it. Whatever we don't need, whatever is harmful to us, we dispose all of that. But during meditation, all of that happens in a much more efficient, much more faster pace. So when we do that audit of what we're feeling throughout the day, we're more centered, we're more aware. And also it makes, like, I've spoken to a lot of meditators who are completely new, who are working in universities as professors, lecturers, and what they have always said is practicing meditation or mindfulness, whichever technique that they want to follow. Some of them can follow breath mindfulness, someone can follow a very walking meditation where they are walking in nature and observing everything that's happening around them and just being very intentional and very aware of where they're going, what they're seeing, and completely being involved in that nature walk. So that in itself is a meditation. That in itself is a mindfulness activity. So what they have said is it provides a small space between the day where they can just be, not do anything, just be, just exist. And I think that's very important because we're constantly in a rush where we want to do something, achieve something. We have this list of things that we want to do, like, okay, I have to cook, clean, go to the office, come back, take care of this person, take care of that person, reply to that person, think, plan for the next day, plan for my vacation, plan for future, save money, make money. We're constantly in this rush of what am I going to do next? And this is something that goes for all ages. Even as a student, as a kid, kids are constantly like, okay, now this class is done. What's my next class? What's my next exam? What's my next course? What's my next activity? Who am I meeting next? What am I gonna say to them? What am I gonna say to my mom about these marks? What am I doing next? So it's we're constantly living in what's gonna happen in the future. But mindfulness and meditation gives you that space to just be in the present and just accept whatever feelings, good, bad, negative, positive, whatever you're feeling, to be felt. Because when we are suppressing our emotions, be it good or bad, if you're not accepting something positive that happened in your life and you're saying, okay, I don't have time to celebrate this, I need to worry about what's happening next, then you're doing a injustice to yourself. You're not living all your positive emotions through and through. So you'll constantly feel like I'm missing out on something because you're not able to appreciate what's good in your life. But at the same time, if you're not accepting your negative emotions and you're just suppressing it and you're saying, okay, that was stressful, but I'm not going to think about this. I'm going to deal with that later. Without that present moment awareness and acceptance, you end up piling on all of those negative emotions till a point where our minds can't handle it anymore. And then we have big outbursts. So even if a small inconvenience happens, instead of responding to that situation, we tend to just react. So after a couple of days of piling on all these emotions without processing them properly, even if something small happens, a small inconvenience like a traffic jam, we get so irritated and so frustrated, and we are just yelling at ourselves or everyone around us. So to prevent that, as a preventative measure, mindfulness tool where if you're in the traffic jam, you can just ask yourself, okay, what is happening within me? Just close your eyes for just a couple of seconds, observe your breath, ground yourself to that moment, and then you'll realize, okay, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling angry because XYZ things have happened in the last 10 minutes. And then once you accept that this is how I'm feeling, you are in a much better position to respond to that situation. And that is what mindfulness does for us. There are two ways to go about it. You can either sit down and practice breath mindfulness like we just did for the first half of this session, where we are practicing our brain to be aware of just our breath. It's a mind training exercise that we're doing where we are constantly bringing our awareness back to our breath. We get distracted, we come back. We get distracted, we come back. So this helps in living our life, and this practice of bringing back our awareness to the present situation is really helpful in daily life. But also for those who are not finding this practice helpful, they can do other things, like I said, walking meditation, where they're observing nature. They might be observing the colors that are happening, the sounds that are there. What birds can you hear? How many footsteps can you hear around you? What smells can you feel? So building that awareness helps in meditation practice, and meditation practice helps in building that awareness. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think what I gathered from your information is coming back to what we were discussing. I feel mindfulness helps us in doing many things and being aware. Like now we were talking about Mother Earth. So with mindfulness, we can be planting trees, we can use less of plastic, we can do recycling, we can contribute, create awareness among students, among people to use the products eco-friendly way, and we can train them, we can have some programs and workshops, and it does help in every other way. When you say traffic, of course, traffic is also a pollution where you less of usage of vehicles will create a good atmosphere, fresh breath of air, and that is what it is. Thank you so much. That was a good piece of information. Usha ma'am, manam Jyoti Bhavani ma'am message తీసుకున్నామా? Is it okay?
Okay.
Please, over to you. Usha ma'am.
నమస్తే మాస్టర్స్. చాలా రోజులైంది అందరినీ చూసి కలిసి. కొంచెం క్లాసుల వల్ల దేశ సంచారం చేస్తుంటగా కొత్త కొత్తలు ఎత్తుక్కొని వజ్రాలని ఆ పనిలో వెళ్ళాము. చాలా బాగుంది ఈరోజు ధ్యానం. చక్కగా పద్మ మేడం యూత్ని తీసుకొచ్చి ఇంకా పిల్లలందరికీ ఆదర్శం చూపిస్తున్నారు. ఈరోజు ధ్యానంలో కూర్చున్నప్పుడు స్టార్టింగ్ గా కూర్చున్నాను. ఫస్ట్ అంతా వైట్ మేఘాలు కనిపిస్తూ ఉన్నాయి. తర్వాత భూమి పైన దేవతలు రాక్షసులకి యుద్ధం జరుగుతుంది. ఆ యుద్ధం జరుగుతుంటే దేవతలేమో అలా 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 ఓడిపోతా ఉన్నారు, నీరసం అయిపోతా ఉన్నారు. అలా చూస్తూ ఉన్నాము. సడన్ గా ఆకాశం నుంచి పెద్ద మెరుపు. ఆ మెరుపు ఏమైందంటే తారాజీవిలాగా భూమి మీదకి వచ్చింది. ఆ భూమి మీదకి వచ్చిన మెరుపు ఒక రూపంగా తయారైంది. అది చూసి రాక్షసులు సైలెంట్ అవుతున్నారన్నమాట. ఈ దేవతలు అలసిపోయి అలా కూర్చొని కనిపిస్తా ఉన్నారు. ఈ రాక్షసులు అంతా ఉజ్జృంభిస్తున్న రాక్షసులు కొంచెం కొంచెం అలా సైలెంట్ అయిపోయి ఆ రూపాన్ని ఏంటి వింత రూపం అన్నట్లుగా చూస్తా ఉన్నారు. అక్కడైతే కొంచెం సైలెన్స్ ఏర్పడ్డది. ఆ తర్వాత తెలుగులోకి వచ్చాక అనిపించింది ఆ ప్రకృతి భూమి మీద అవసరమైనప్పుడు డైరెక్టర్ గా వచ్చి తను ఏం చేయాలో చేస్తుంది అనేసి నా లోపల అనిపించింది. అలా ఈ రోజు ఒక గొప్ప ప్రకృతి దర్శనం పొందాము. అవసరమైనప్పుడు ఆ తల్లి ఎలా తనకు తనే భూమి రక్షణకి ఎలా ఉపయోగపడుతుందని చూపించడం జరిగింది. పితామహ బ్రహ్మర్షి పత్రిజీకి ఈ ధ్యానం అనే ఒక గొప్ప వెలుగుని మన అందరికి అందించి ఇంత వసుదై కుటుంబం చేసి ప్రతి క్షణం పండగలా జీవించే ఒక అద్భుతాన్ని మనకు అందించినందుకు ఆ మహానీయుడికి ఎంత చెప్పినా తక్కువే. ఈ గ్రూప్ లో ఉన్న మాస్టర్స్ కి, ఈ భూమి మీద ఉన్నతాత్మలకి, ఈ భూమి రక్షణకు వచ్చిన వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా విజయదశమి శుభాకాంక్షలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను మాస్టర్స్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Chala బాగుంది vision. So today, masters, Jyoti ma'am joined us after a long time, and her vision, as usual, was exclusive. And today she saw the what do you say, the demons and the gods were having a fight amongst themselves, and they were draining themselves out. And a light, a thunder of light, falls onto the Mother Earth, and begets a shape. And then with that, it so happens that some change happens over there. So, and then the energy develops. That's what I understood. And then I'm just concluding with a short thing. And then she thanks our Brahmarishi Pitama Patriji for us all being in the state. And yes, we are very blessed to be under the guidance of Adi Guru Brahmarishi Pitama Patriji. Now I request Usha ma'am to move further and talk about today's session, her views, and then again, final message from our Master Hima. Over to you, Usha ma'am.
Thank you, madam. First, let me thank Master Himasri for this wonderful deep meditation and her views about saving Mother Earth. She's having really miraculous thoughts. I think being a psychology student, Master Himasri, at that age, she's doing a lot. And even I wanted to ask her one small question. She's mentioning about the walking meditation. So walking meditation, while walking, we should focus on our breath, or how to do that? I just want to ask her. We'll walk with
Thank you.
awareness, but just I want to listen from her again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for this platform, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Coming to your question, I think walking meditation, what I have practiced is building this mindfulness. Like I said, just being completely absorbed in the present moment. So there are different ways we can practice. Every day you can try a different method and see what you like, what you enjoy the most. Be honest with yourself, because some days we just don't have a good practice, and that is absolutely fine. So some days I just go on a walk and I observe how many trees there are. Maybe do a small count. How many trees did I walk by? Some days I might be looking at the different colors. How many colors can I observe? How many colors can I see around me? It can be the same path that we go to 20 times, but every time we go, there is something new. What is that something new that we see in that park? What has changed? What has remained the same? So just being aware of the smells. When we are in nature, our brain automatically feels happy because that's where we belong. We are part of Mother Earth, so our brain can recognize that. So just having the smell of plants around us, soil around us, puts us in a very relaxed state automatically. It's a very biological thing that our body feels. So becoming aware of that, like noticing, okay, as soon as I got out of the traffic of the car and I entered the trees, am I feeling some difference within how I'm feeling in my brain and my body? Is my heartbeat changing? Or if that is too difficult for us to notice, that can be something that we build towards. If we are, especially with kids, we can ask them to focus on just the sounds. Tell me how many birds you can hear. Once you heard the bird, can you identify where it is? Can you track which tree it's going towards? So just for a couple of minutes, if we can focus our attention on just one thing. If we are choosing colors, for 5 minutes, only colors. If we're choosing sound, for 5 minutes, only sound. And then we can integrate all of them. We can do colors and sound. So this way we are building our awareness slowly, but also we're keeping it exciting for us, entertaining. And the main idea is to just be in the present moment, whatever the present moment has to offer. And at the same time, have an internal dialogue on what we're going through internally, what's happening within us. Because the colors that we see are also happening within our mind. The
Hmm.
feelings that we have are also within our mind. So just observing that as well in parallel to it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And as you said, one more thing, share accepting things. So with awareness, accepting people how they are and accepting the situations, how the situations are. So that is also you should practice.
Definitely.
So
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
to lead happy life, that is main important thing. Accepting. Yeah. Thank you, Himashri.
Thank you, ma'am.
Over to you, ma'am. Apannam.
Yes. So masters, you saw such a lovely conversation ఈరోజు. సో మనము మదరత్ కాకుండా మనమందరము మెడిటేషన్ మైండ్ఫుల్నెస్ గురించి విధానం తెలుసుకున్నాము. మీరు వాకింగ్ మెడిటేషన్ అన్నప్పుడు నాకు సడన్ గా ఐ వెంట్ ఆఫ్ టు మై ఫ్లాష్ బ్యాక్ ఆఫ్ గౌతమ్ బుద్ధ వెళ్ళి ఒక జస్ట్ ఆఫ్టర్ హిస్ ఎన్లైటన్మెంట్ హీ వాజ్ వాకింగ్ అలాంగ్. అండ్ వెన్ హీ వాజ్ వాకింగ్ అలాంగ్ ఆయన ఎక్కడెక్కడ నడిచారో అక్కడ ఒక లోటస్ వచ్చింది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ రికలెక్ట్ హిస్ వీడియోస్ అక్కడ చూపించున్నారు. అక్కడ తర్వాత అశోక మేడ్ సంథింగ్ ఒక పిల్ల స్ట్రక్చర్ చేశారనమాట. అండ్ వెన్ ఐ వాజ్ వాకింగ్ అలాంగ్ దాట్ ఐ కుడ్ సెన్స్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీస్ దేర్. నాకు అక్కడ వెళ్తూనే ఐ గెట్ అట్రాక్టెడ్, సంథింగ్ ఇస్ దేర్ అన్నట్టుగా. సో మీరు చెప్తుండగా అది నాకు సడన్ గా అక్కడికి వెళ్ళాను. ఇమాజిన్ ఆయన జస్ట్ అక్కడ వాక్ చేస్తూ వెళ్తున్నాను. అండ్ అక్కడ లోటస్ అంటే మనం ఆ లోటస్ గురించి మనకి ఇంపార్టెన్స్ అందరికీ తెలుసు, అది ఎంత సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ దాన్ని అని చెప్పి. సో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ హ్యాస్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ ఇంపార్టెన్స్, హ్యాస్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ స్పెషాలిటీ. అండ్ టుడే ఈరోజు మనకి మన ఆదిగురు బ్రహ్మర్షి పితామహ పత్రిజీ వచ్చి ఇమిగ్రేషన్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఇస్తున్నామంటే ఒక్కొక్క రోజు ఒక్కొక్క కొత్త మాస్టర్ వాళ్ళ వ్యూ పాయింట్స్ మనం ముందు పెడుతూ మనకి తెలుపుతూ, అంటే కొత్తగా మనం నేర్చుకోవాలి, ఇంకా ఇంకా నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఎప్పుడు ఆయన ప్రోత్సహించారు, ఎప్పుడు మనకు తెలిపారు దట్ చాలా ఉంది తెలుసుకునేది, మీరంతా తెలుసుకున్నారని అనుకోవద్దు అనే ఫీలింగ్ ఈ రోజు మీ అందరితో వింటూ ఉంటే నాకు అనిపించింది. సమ్ స్పెషల్ థ్యాంక్స్ టు హిమశ్రీ మ్యామ్, ఆల్ ద మాస్టర్స్, Hima Bindu ma'am who has joined, Shri sir, I'm seeing Suresh sir, రాయచోటి, అందరికీ చాలా చాలా థ్యాంక్స్, స్పెషల్ థ్యాంక్స్. మీరు అందరు ఇట్లాగే జాయిన్ అయితే మాకు మోటివేటింగ్ ఉంటుంది దట్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్. ఒక పర్పస్ ఉంది దీనికి, వీ వాంట్ ఎవ్రీబడి టు బి పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ మెడిటేషన్. ఎందుకంటే మనం జాయిన్ అవ్వడమే కాదు, ఆఫ్రికా నుంచి ఉండే ఇప్పుడు ఉషా మ్యామ్, స్పెషల్ థ్యాంక్స్ టు షీ జాయిన్ ఫ్రమ్ నైజీరియా. అక్కడ నుంచి అక్కడ ఆఫ్రికన్స్ మనకి జాయిన్ అయితే, మీరుండే యూకేలో ఆఫ్రికన్స్ అండ్ యూకే పీపుల్ జాయిన్ అయితే, మేము ఇక్కడ ఇండియా నుంచి జాయిన్ అయితే మనకు స్పెషల్ ఎనర్జీస్ క్రియేట్ చేసి వాట్ ద మెథడ్, ఎందుకు పత్రి సార్ మనని ధ్యానం చేయాలనే పర్పస్ సార్ట్ అవుట్ అవుతుంది మాస్టర్స్. సో అఖండ ధ్యానం, అఖండ ధర్తి అనే అఖండ ధ్యానం జరగబోతుంది 12వ. దానందరూ జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి, మనందరం కలిసి మెడిటేట్ చేద్దాం. అండ్ ఒక పర్పస్ ముందు ముందు తెలుస్తుంది అంటారు కదా, వాట్ నెక్స్ట్ అన్నట్టుగా అలాగా అనమాట. సచ్ అ ప్లెజర్ఫుల్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్, ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్. Thank you so much to both Usha ma'am and to Himashri ma'am for giving me this opportunity of being with you together, all the masters. So Amma iroju unnattu leru, I think she had to go. So thank you once again. For the final words, over to you, Usha ma'am. Always the Africans have the final word here. Yeah.
ఓకే మ్యామ్, తెలుగులో చెప్పవచ్చా మ్యామ్?
ఎట్లయినా ఎస్.
మదర్ ఎర్త్ సేవ్ చేయడం కోసం అన్నప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ముందు ముఖ్యంగా పాటించవలసింది అహింస అనేది, తర్వాత ధ్యానంలో అహింస. మనం ఒక శాకాహారిగా మారినప్పుడే మనలో ఎన్నో సాత్విక గుణాలు అనేవి ఏర్పడతాయి. అది దానికి మెడిటేషన్ కూడా తోడైనప్పుడు జరుగుతున్న వాటన్నిటిని మనలో మనం మార్పు చేసుకుంటూ వస్తూ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మన చుట్టూ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ లో కూడా మార్పు అనేది సంభవిస్తుంది. ఆ విధంగా మన ఇంటిలో, మన వీధిలో, ఆ తర్వాత మన ఊర్లో అలాగా మార్పు అనేది తప్పకుండా వస్తుంది అది. సో నేను అందరినీ రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసేది, ముఖ్యంగా ఈ హింస అనేది మానివేసి ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడాను శాకాహారులుగా మారడం, ధ్యానం చేయడం అనేది చాలా అవసరం ప్రస్తుతం. ఇప్పుడు మన మాస్టర్ హిమశ్రీ చెప్పిన దాన్ని బట్టి చూస్తే ఆ ఏజ్ లో మాస్టర్ చాలా చాలా ఎన్లైటన్ అయి ఉన్నారు. ఆమె నుంచి చాలా నేర్చుకున్నాను నేను ఈ రోజు. చాలా విషయాలు నేర్చుకోవడం జరిగింది. థ్యాంక్ యూ హిమశ్రీ మ్యామ్.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will play one video. We close this session. Would like to share something with you all. Hope you all can see. Can you see or should I enlarge?
We can see the WhatsApp chat now, the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ma'am, the audio is missing.
Aparna madam, music not audible.
నేను షేర్ చేస్తా ఒక్క నిమిషం. నేను ఒంటరిగా ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తున్నాను. ప్లేట్ So this is the finale. Yeah, sorry for so many things. That's ఈ కారణంగా మనం హిమబిందు మ్యామ్ స్వీట్ వాయిస్ విన్నాము. Thank you so much. So Usha ma'am, can we end the session?
Yes, madam.
Thank you so much, Master Himashri, for being with us. Thank you, Himabindu ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Constantly, even ఉంటే చెప్పచ్చు.
హాయ్ హిమశ్రీ, ఈరోజు చాలా బాగా చెప్పామా అవేర్నెస్ గురించి, సో మైండ్ఫుల్ గురించి అన్నీ వచ్చేసాయి దాంట్లో టాపిక్ లో. సో మైండ్ఫుల్ గా ఉండాలని, అవేర్ గా ఉండాలని, మన సెన్సెస్ తో అబ్జర్వ్ చేయాలని, అంటే మన జ్ఞానేంద్రియాలతో, కళ్ళతో, చెవులతో, ముక్కుతో. పత్రిగారు అదే చెప్తారు, అంటే మన ముక్కుతో ఎంత యూస్ చేసుకోవాలి, వాసన చూడాలి. ముక్కుతో ఏం చేయాలి, వాసన చూడాలి, పూల వాసన చూడాలి అంటారు. సో చెవులు ఏం చేయాలి, చెవులు పూర్తిగా ఉపయోగించుకోవాలి, కళ్ళని పూర్తిగా ఉపయోగించుకోవాలి. మన సెన్సెస్ ని ఎంత ఉపయోగించుకోవాలన్నది నేను ఈరోజు మీ ద్వారా విన్నాను. అది చక్కగా ఇంకా ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అనేది చాలా బాగుంది. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ హిమశ్రీ, మీరు చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. అదే
Thank you
చెప్పాలని.
so much, ma'am.
Very
Thank you.
beautifully put
Thank you.
out.
అందరికీ.
Thank you, ma'am. That's very nice. Yeah, hidden information. ధ్యాసగా విన్న వాళ్ళు catches. So thank you, masters. Oh, I'm very happy. I'm glowing. So with this Patriji meditation channel Africa lo రేపు మళ్ళీ ఒక కొత్త మాస్టర్స్ తో we will join back. Usha ma'am, over to you for conclusion.
మేడం, నాకు కొంచెం పవర్ అయింది వీడియో.
సరే ఉషా మ్యామ్ తరఫున నేను ఆఫ్రికా తరఫున మీ అందరికి మళ్ళీ ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తున్నాను. హిమశ్రీ, ప్లీజ్ కీప్ ఆన్ జాయినింగ్ us every day if and when possible, and please join us for the Dharti Akhanda Dhyana Akhanda Dharti 9 hours meditation. Please invite your friends and everyone. ధన్యవాదాలు masters.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Usha ma'am. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, sure.